Hello, y'all, and thank you for being here. This is a desktop stream. We're with the amazing Sarah. She is a book connoisseur, and then we will have Madeline joining us soon. And we're basically doing like a book talk. So thank you for being here, and shout out Amazon Kindle for hosting us.
Thanks for having me, Jeremiah. I first wanted to dive into your bookish origin story, get a feel for your reading room, and as you mentioned, we have a special guest joining us soon. So I read that your reading journey began when you were in middle school and you started reading manga and graphic novels. So if your middle school reading life was an anime character, who would it have been, and what were some titles that got you hooked?
First, the titles that got me hooked are books like Amulet, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. That I can remember Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, that series being one of my favorite books for like middle school and high school. My uncle owned a comic book shop in Portland, so like every time I go to Portland, I'd get books. So yeah, like I've been reading ever since I was a kid. But if I had to give the anime character, I guess I'd go Naruto, because I guess like it's like not a sad start, but it's just like at first I'm just reading to read, and then I was like kind of like reading to like train my mind. So that's how I'd look at it. Like first Naruto was just kind of BSing around, but then you started really training, and that's how reading was for me. Like first it was just for fun, and then it was for fun and to better myself. So I'm gonna go like that.
I never really got graphic novels until I was a parent, and I have two boys and they love them. This is one of my kids' favorites, Die Everyone Be Kid. I don't know if this was... They both love this. Yeah. So you started with graphic novels, you've gone to Greek mythology and romance. So how did your reading tastes evolve? And was there a book that marked that transition for you?
In high school, I had something called AR reading. So like you'd read, I basically only read for like pizza parties. You read the book and you take a test on it. So I would just do it for like the candy and pizza that would come with doing it on the test and like being the top of the class. Like I read for fun until college, and then I'll just read for class, because I'm not finna read for like class and then read again like that. For me, my mindset back then, I couldn't do it. So I didn't really read until COVID, and I was like stuck in the house, and I was like, okay, I'm like going crazy with my mind. So how can I better like myself and my brain every day? And I found Stoicism first, Ryan Holiday. Like Ego is the Enemy, I think first it was Mindset by Cheryl Dweck, and that was like the book that kickstarted everything. And then once I read that, I was like, oh, I'm not stuck or boring a certain way. So once I read Mindset, then it kind of opened the doors for everything to like, oh, I can learn and get better as an adult. I'm not born a bad reader, or I'm not born bad or good at this. So yeah, that's how it really started.
So what books or authors have had the biggest impact on you personally?
Definitely Ryan Holiday, because that's the author that really like I found my love for reading with his Stoicism books, and then like books like Ego is the Enemy, The Obstacle is the Way. Also books like Can't Hurt Me, and one of my favorite books of all time, When Things Fall Apart, and also The Four Agreements. I would say like a mix of those kind of really got me. It was like, oh, like reading is also fun, but wow, I can like love living a lot more. And then once I see how it affects, like, oh, I read How to Win Friends and Influence People, and that book totally changed my career, by Dale Carnegie. That book totally changed my career in modeling, because I started forming just a lot of genuine connections with people, and it was just a lot of fun to watch how, one, it would make me better, and two, how it would make other people, smile more or be happier, et cetera, et cetera.
I heard that you just got your first Kindle today, which I can't believe. What feature are you most excited about diving into with the Kindle?
The number one thing I'm excited about is being able to flip between books and not having to carry a bunch. I would say just having one, device that all my books are on. I think that's like the best thing that I'm most excited for.
Are you someone that just reads one book at a time, or will you flip back and forth between those books?
I've done, I think, like 2 at a time, but this time I'm like re-listening to the book. I don't know if I'll read 2 because that'd be 3, but yeah, we'll see. But I'm excited regardless.
This is pro tip as someone that's had a Kindle a long time. Okay, first of all, you can switch the background from the light color to black. And if you have someone else in your room with you and you don't want to disturb them while you're reading, that's a great tip. And I also love the time to read feature, because it will show you have 5 hours left in the book or 10 minutes left in the chapter. And so as someone that likes to read at night, it's like, okay, I can stay up for 10 more minutes and finish this chapter. Those are my favorite things.
I always find myself like, okay, I'm tired, but I want to finish the chapter. And then I'm like, oh my God, there's 12 pages. Flip. Like, oh my God, there's 12 pages left. Yeah.
So you have Jeremiah's reading room. How did this idea start?
I was on TikTok live one day, and like people went back and watched all my old book reviews, and I had no idea like people would even like care, because I did them like April, I think, or like just months and months ago. And then people were like, someone said you should start a book club. I still don't know who said it. I'd be trying to find out who said that, but someone was like, you should start a book club. And I literally thought that was like the craziest thing ever. And I was like, okay, let's see who joins. And then I started on Instagram, and it just blew up into like a huge yeah, following. So I'm just really excited that that many people, one, care about reading and care about, being a part of it.
What surprised you the most about connecting with these readers?
How many people love reading and how many people like care to be in a book club that I'm like hosting, I would say. Like those are like, oh yeah, those are the two things that caught me off guard for sure.
So I know that your book club recently read the book The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller,
Yeah.
and she is actually going to join us today. So we are going to introduce Madeline, and you are inviting her in. So she is the #1 New York Times bestselling author of 2 novels, The Song of Achilles and also Circe, which was shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2019. And it looks like Madeline has joined us.
Hello.
There you are. Hi. Welcome. Oh my gosh, we have a whole chat going with the 3 of us. I love this.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Jeremiah. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
No, that's just crazy. Thank you for being here. I would have never thought that you'd be here, so I can't thank you enough.
I was so honored that you chose my book for your first book for the book club. And Sarah, thank you so much for doing all this, and I'm very happy to be here.
Now, Jeremiah, I know you have some questions that you want to ask Madeline, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah. Okay, I hadn't read a nonfiction book since like 2019, and yours was the first I read, so that's like 5 years.
Oh.
And right away, I was like, yo, the personification, because I remember like 3 buzzwords from vocabulary class. And personification, like the way that you make like inanimate objects alive, like how did that like not even start, but where do you get that from? Like your way that you make like an ocean feel like a human and stuff like that. Like how do you like where do you draw inspiration to do that?
Thank you. That is such a lovely thing to say, and I come from a theater background, and so I really try to see the scene in my head as I'm writing about it, very much as if I'm a theater director and it's happening on the stage in front of me. And so objects take on a lot of significance for me, because when you're directing theater, like an actor has to actually hold that object and carry it across the stage, and you have to be able to see it. And so I really try to bring all that into it. I also have to credit actually going to Greece, that, being in Greece is just such an incredible experience. There's nothing like being able to actually see what the light looks like on the water, smell the dust in the air, the olive grove. So I could never have written it if I hadn't actually spent time in Greece also. That's the other part.
You're describing things I didn't even know my brain can think about, like the smell or look of an olive. I'm like, I don't even know. Oh, now I do. So it was just crazy to read that. Because I remember immediately, like first chapter, I'm in the group chat of the book club, like, yo, are y'all reading this? Like she's making like leaves dance and stuff. Like I just remember being like geeked out about the way you described objects.
I give all the credit to Greece, which is glorious and beautiful.
How does it feel, Madeline, to see your book being discussed in book clubs like Jeremiah's Reading Room? I mean, it's a retelling of Greek mythology, and it's reaching so many people.
I, spent 10 years writing this book, and before that, there was probably 10 years of me sort of thinking about it and working on it. And so it's just such a huge honor for me. It feels like the greatest joy that readers want to read it and are still finding the book, and that it's out there, because for so many years it felt like something that was just in here, and so it's amazing to get to connect with readers, and so I could not be more thrilled.
If you could sit down with any mythological character you've written, who do you want to have a conversation with, and what would you ask them?
I mean, I'd spent a lot of time with both Patroclus and Circe, so I feel like I would probably want to sit down with them. But if we put them aside, I think that, I think I'd be freaked out to sit down with most of the major gods, because they, what if I offended them and they punished me? But I'd love to sit down with some of the nymphs, whether it's Thetis or, some of the other nymphs, and sort of ask them about their experiences as this weird kind of joining place where gods and mortals meet.
The way you describe Thetis, like when she walks in a room, bro, like I would be like reading, I'd be like, oh my god, like the room would get cold, and like the way you describe her dress on her, like cold dark skin, the dark eyes, bro. So I'm still like, yeah, that book had me geeked, because I never read fiction, so I was like, I didn't know like this could be fit. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That makes me very happy.
Yeah. Madeline, is there one thing about the Song of Achilles that readers often misinterpret that you feel like you want to correct?
No, I love hearing from readers what they take away from it that I didn't think of. That's what's always so exciting to me, because once the book is out there in the world, it belongs to the readers as much as it belongs to me. So I always love hearing what people take away, or what people think. A reader had reached out to me and said, it moved me to tears, actually, what they had written me about how they were grieving someone in their life and they felt like the book really spoke to their grief. Absolutely meant so much to me. So that's what I love, is I love hearing things that for them the book was largely about grief, and that's so I want my readers to find whatever is meaningful to them in the book.
One quote that really stuck with us, because during like when we met up, we're like, yo, what's a quote that stuck with y'all? And like the number one was, I would know him if I was blind. Like that part, when you like wrote that quote, like where did you draw that? Like there was just so many lines where it's like, I know him in, like, if I was blind, I know him in another life. Like where did you draw that from? Like what made you be able to write something that connected with so many of us on another level?
I think there's two things. One is that I read a lot of poetry, because I feel like poetry is doing what novels are doing, but in this incredibly compressed way. And so I try to start all my writing days by reading a little bit of poetry, just to sort of put my mind in that space where language is so activated, and so powerful. And then the other thing is that my friends make fun of me for this, because when I write in a dark room and I have like a hood and I'm in this sort of like sensory deprivation center. And part of that is how I get into the character's head. And part of the reason why novels take me so long to write is that I'm really like a method writer, kind of like a method actor, but a method writer. And so I'm trying to go really deep into the character's mind, and just live in them. So that's where I was living. that's where I was. And that's sort of, trying to experience and feel what he was experiencing and feeling in that moment felt. So I'm really glad that it resonated.
That makes so much sense, because when you like the way that you build out Agamemnon or whatever, like you really make us hate him. So like like that's what makes sense. You be locked in because you really be in the hood. Like how do I make like the meanest, most like, oh bro, Agamemnon, I was the one to jump through the pages to whip him, bro. When he was bullying the priest, bro, I'm like, the priest is Apollo's like minion or whatever, like. And Apollo got smoke with you. I don't know why that you'd pick a fight with bro. And then you have the dogs dying, your bros are dying. Yeah, Agamemnon was one of the worst, best characters I've ever read, because I just wanted oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. But yeah, it makes sense now because he was really locked in.
I'm really glad you feel that way about Agamemnon, because I also hate Agamemnon. And in mythology, his wife murders him in the bathtub with an axe. So he does get his in the end.
I feel like we could keep talking, but we can't. Jeremiah, what is your next book club selection? Are you able to share that? I'm so excited that you're coming around to fiction, because I'm such a big fiction reader.
Yeah, so this month we're going back to my roots of self-mastery, because a lot of people are asking me like, what helped you stay composed in the villa? So I did like my top 5 self-mastery books and the subtle art of not giving a F1. So then that will be until October 6th. And then October 6th, we're doing a spooky book. I don't know what book yet, but we're going to do a spooky book.
Ooh, okay. If you need any suggestions, let me know, okay? Because I read a lot.
Okay,
Happy to weigh in.
I can tell. I got you.
Madeline, thank you so much for joining us. I love talking to you. I love seeing Jeremiah connect with you. That just like brings me so much joy. Thank you for everything. Thank you everyone for watching. And Jeremiah, thank you for having us. If readers want to find your reading room, they just go to your Instagram profile and they can follow it there. I know I am following, and I'm super excited now.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah. Thank you so much. It's great to get to meet you this way.
No, I'm fanned out, Madeline. You are an amazing author. I can't thank you for your work. I can't wait to read Circe, and because I got sent a copy of it because people are obsessing about it. So I can't thank you enough for being here and writing your books. They're phenomenal.
Oh, it's truly my pleasure. And I hope to get a recommendation from you for graphic novels, because I hear that that's where you started, and I feel like I'm just getting into them. So if you have a rec, please let me know.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's like my favorite graphic novel.
Okay.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It's a 5-part series.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Bye.
Y'all have a good day, man. This is so crazy, bro.